mean you need to drink to elevate your level. As I'm just saying, in general, I'm elevating my level mentally. And you don't need substances to do that, even though they, if you do in moderation, uh, you know, hey, each his own. But always take a vitamin, multivitamin once a day. I'm rambling. Welcome to the Lava Hot Podcast. It's your boy GDOZ, aka the Emperor of the North. And I'm just, this is the first one right here. I got the team ready. Shout out to the team. Um, but I'm just in my zone and got a lot on my mind where I just had to something just hit me like record. So I went ahead and let's dive in. And the subject of today, I think it's gonna hit a couple places, but I want to focus on evolution, evolving, growing, being the best version of you, being that red pill level, okay? And me being a male, masculine male, of course, I'm going to represent that male red pill. But see, women, it's time for y'all to get red pill women. And I'm gonna dive into all that because red pill women don't mean being like a man. It just means being what God made you a woman. There's power in both. That's why it's both. Like think about it. Is if it was no need for both, it wouldn't exist. Humans, we we understand a lot of things because I feel our survival attribute, just like you have animals with different attributes. And I'm about to get deep into this, and this was going back into what I was thinking to even click the button is why are we here and what do we need to do? What do we need to do to evolve? You know, what are some things? I don't claim to know it all. I'm just speaking off what's presented to me from the stars, from the cosmic. We all are made of the sun energy, the power of the sun, stardust. Okay, so if you understand that you are created from stardust, you can understand that our strongest attribute is to create our surrounding, control and mold and create things with raw materials, right? As humans, that's our defense mechanism. We can take this tree branch, we can tame fire, we can move water, we can build up, we can fly up. You know what I mean? We can shield ourselves. We can take materials from the ground. That's the definition of alchemy, right? If you heard of the ancient art of alchemy, it's basically what humans has mastered. The fact that I'm able to talk to you is alchemy because it took tools or raw material to create the microphones, the cords, the satellites, every process that it takes for us to communicate. Alchemy, basically the art of taking raw material and creating something tangible, precious. And that's our power. It is a power. Just like you're walking through the jungle. Our ancestors, no matter where you're from, learned certain animals. If you was walking through the jungle or the fucking forest, it's all the same because it's danger everywhere. When you look at all our ancestors, regardless if everyone started here, when you went there, and those ancestors went there, I mean, they had to survive those trials and tribulations, those animals, those plants. Those they had to learn what was good and what wasn't, what to do, what not to do. You hungry? You realize fucking with that damn python, it ain't gonna work out, or that anaconda, or that buffalo, or that tiger, or that lion, or that zebra. or that horse, whatever, that antelope, that plant. Don't eat that. You die. Don't fuck with them tiny bugs. Anything could take you out. Scorpion. It doesn't have to, it doesn't matter the size. We had to learn how to survive. And now we're here in 2021. The new dimension. 5G and 5D evolving, right? But we have viruses constricting us. We're stuck on a planet. Everyone can't evacuate to the moon or just to space, right? So what that means? We are all victims of unseen tiny things, right? So that goes back to my point. It doesn't matter what the size of something is. You know not to mess with that. Don't fuck with it. And humans tend to fuck with a lot of shit that's self-destructive. And until we tear out our truly primitive ways, we will be stuck in the primitive ways. No matter how you suit and tie it. No matter how you dress it up. It don't matter how much you stimulate the economy with magical money. Magical entities. These people could say, hey, we need a gazillion dollars, give it to you, and it gets spent, but it's not real. It's not real. Because no man truly owns this earth. They just control it. And that's why we have not evolved to the plateau I feel in my entity that we can. You're trying to control something that was never yours in the first place. It's of you. That's just an organ. Earth is just an organism of a body, just like a cell to a human or any animal is to their body. Because there's billions and trillions of cells and planets and stars. So to fight over one cell is to fight yourself from learning yourself, because if we spent more time communicating, learning, evolving, each planet, each solar system is a new place of the body, of life, of existence. But I guess you could say it got to start somewhere, right? I guess it does. I don't like to guess. I like to know, but some things you're going to have to guess until you know. You have to come to a reasonable conclusion. A realistic conclusion. See, what I just said is basically a universal problem, universal human problem. Evolution cannot proceed without understanding of self and knowing what you are of And what the universe is, it's all in one. So you're just exploring yourself. So fighting over one drop, one cell, which is a planet, is why all humans, especially those who are in control, are primitive. So if the ones who are in control are primitive, you get they are in control of the mass media. So if we are content with this planet to the point where we would destroy any potential of unification, is primitive. It's doom. Yes, you may have a few who's thinking about, you got NASA, you got, you know, other countries with their space stations and the space race, but it's not a humanity. Each president or dictator or emperor or whatever, ambassador, or whoever is in control may say for their country, but you know, this is not illumination. This is elevation. So what I'm saying can sound like one world government, but I think at a point in time you would need one world cooperation. And let's be reasonable about the cooperation. I mean, if we understand that it's a goal for humanity, it shouldn't be any wars. You're fighting for what? Once we blow up this, it's nothing. So let's stop worrying about this and expand our point. To me, that's being closer to God, expanding, not just destroying. Of course, destruction. But destruction does not mean murder all the time. Destruction does not mean poverty on a mass scale all the time. Destruction does not mean mass deaths from diseases and infecting. Destruction could just mean destroying old primitive ideas. That's the wrath of God. Because it starts there, because you have free will. You have to think it first. Even if it's a millisecond, you thought it to do it. You thought about it. Negative or positive? So as humans, we need to continue to think about what is evolution? What is going to help me be a better person? What is going to help me evolve? Because, see, being a people pleaser can leave you in a spiral of destruction. I'm guilty of it. I'm only human. But I strive for evolution. We must evolve. We must elevate and infiltrate the structure of destruction. Once we infiltrate that, we can break through and understand and grasp star power, stardust, yourself. You begin to understand yourself when you break your mind out of the ignorance of nothing. So many humans are trapped in the cycle of nothingness. You're doing mundane things that consist of no progression in your life. It may excite your life, but it does not inflate and invite positive evolution, positive growth, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually. If you're doing things that does not bring you growth and just entertainment, you are stuck. Break that cycle. Fight it. Fight for your life. Fight for your mind. Fight for your children. Fight for yourself. Fight for your spouse. Fight for evolution. Fight for the stars that you come from. And stop settling for a piece of sail in the body of greatness. We're fighting on earth for alchemy, meaning we're fighting for things that's always here and that's on many different planets. We create money out of trees and paper, recycled paper, and dead trees. Money is not even touchable anymore. It's not even tangible. It's digital. I can be saying it wrong, but I know one thing is digital. You're fighting over an idea. You're controlled by an idea. When they send the stimulus packages, you touch some paper or it comes into your account, that's an idea. Their idea says that you can take this idea that they made and go buy something that someone else's idea, it's just exchanging ideas. That's it. See, we must understand what's really happening to evolve. Excuse me. And you must exchange your ideas. You should. Because that's how you evolve. But we're so worried about here now. Humans was here way before 2021. Meaning someone started a clock and said it's going to be day one. Somebody won a war and said, hey, well, today is day one, and we've been counting since then. And that's 2021 years since that person, that group of people said, we're going to start from here. Because they won a war. That's all humans had. They're fighting over a planet. So it makes me wonder, are y'all all been fighting? Is history everyone been fighting over just basically who controls this planet? Or who's going to be in control of taking us off? Regardless of all the movies, regardless of all the cinema, music, toys, whatever. Who is fighting for what? Excuse me. But see, is that what you're fighting for? Is that what our history has been about? Who controls this one planet? This one cell of the body of the universe? This one drop of energy? If you understand that, you can understand how powerful God is. Humans is fighting over a drop of energy from creation, which is the planet, the star, the solar system we live in. Humans fighting over just who can get that drop. See, we have to understand that it's so many drops of energy, so many cells that builds the body of the universe. We are literally made in the image of the universe. So why, humans, you spend so much time destroying yourself? When you've already been blessed with wealth. So we're destroying ourselves because we were blessed with the wealth of life and free will and evolution. So we're going to destroy ourselves before we can even embrace evolution. We're going to slow down our evolution because we're going to fight about what country runs this. Your eyes look like this. My skin is this. You're better. Look, humans, you just adapted to a planet. I said you bleed red. You go to another planet, they adapted to their planet. They all fucking probably bleed purple or green. Whatever color. Whatever. I'm just saying. Stop the primitive ways. You're fighting because you got a fucking tan or not. Oh, you're over here in this region. I hate you. You hate yourself. Teach each other. That's it. That was it. If your body adapted to here, teach the brethren, the sisterin how to survive there. And they should do the same from where they're from. That's how it should have been. That's what I guess it started. But some of them got greedy. Some of us were corrupted by primitive thoughts. you just see this little gold here. You see this mountain of gold. Like, how can you use this gold to build something to get this off this motherfucker? Not just sitting in a fucking room doing nothing. I'm the king. I have all the gold. They can slit your throat, your son get. It's all a game, right? Well, it's all a test also. Think about that. Chess is cool. But chess is a game. Life is a test. Chess can only prepare you to make difficult and logical decisions that could preserve your well-being. But preservation doesn't mean elevation. Let me say that again. Preservation doesn't equal elevation. Who the hell is this guy? Right? I'm just a human being that was given the name Gregory Devon Zachary, right? For example, the last name I have is not of a man that I'm actually related to. My legitimacy comes from a man named Dennis Cecil Owens and his ancestors. That's who my father is. My father, Gregory Cecil Owens, and I'm sorry, my grandfather, Dennis. And you know, they are two guys who clashed. But were great in their own way. I'm glad that I had the privilege to meet my father's father. You know, Dennis Owens was a great man. Family grew up that he raised on Concord. Went to New Calvary Baptist Church. Was a Mason. Used to tell me, hey, nobody drink out his Mason cup. Excuse me. That's how I knew for sure. He never talked about it or bragged about it. He always had that cup. So growing up in Detroit, Michigan, with my granddad telling me the story of how he's seen his best friend, how they just served and fought in the war, hung once they made it back after serving. I understood the hurt, but his evolution. Humans are cruel. Humans are petty, and humans are primitive. Let's take a look. Me being a black man in the black community. Now, it's one big show. We look at websites like Instagram, Twitter, and that's what's legal. It doesn't have any age restriction on Instagram to see a big ass. What is that doing to the youth? How does a website have the ability to expose our youth? That goes back to alchemy, right? That goes back to control. That goes back to the primitive nature of humans. You know, we're going to keep it raw and uncut, y'all. Belches, coughs, all sipping, smoking, whatever. Because it's been too much ignorance. And nobody's saying nothing about it. Because nobody really gives a fuck. Because humans just want to be entertained. They do not want to evolve. Not the masses. Change truly only happens when the masses embraces change. And that could be for the better or the worse. I pray to the sun, to the universe, to creation that humans evolve for the better. The better. What is better? Better could be mean to some more sex, pedophilia, drugs, money, emptiness, pleasure. To some, it can mean exploration, evolution, understanding of oneself, understanding of creation, understanding of the stars. So people will fight over those two things. But logically, realistically, however long these resources may last, one thing is true: they don't last forever. Remember, we are like a bacteria to a cell. Humans are the bacteria of planets. You can either be good bacteria or bad, meaning you can just take it all, or just take what you need, grow, and move on. Because if you just take what you need and evolve with that, guess what? You always have somewhere to come back to. That can be implemented in your life day to day. Do not destroy others, build others. If I build 100 people, all 100 people may not love me, give a fuck. But if I made 100 billionaires and just 25 give a fuck, I have access to, if they all just made 1 billion apiece, I have access to $25 billion. Just like they have access to me, right? See, we must build together. Women. Because for sure I'm going to get into the man. Women. And I'm going to speak to the black women because I'm a black man. What is black? I'm a human that's darkly tanned. I wouldn't even say I'm that darkly tanned, but I'm tanned. Period. Point blank. I'm of high sun ray descendant. So my skin adapted. That's it. Human. Human from a high sun contact place. We just adapt. So my point is I have to talk to those women of that same creed because it's been separation in the human race to where distinction has become obvious, especially in the United States where I am. So mental operations have been indoctrined, enforced is the better word, in the minds of the so-called BM. Excuse me. And one thing I've learned is self-preservation is the disease of the black female. And I do not mean this for all, I just mean for the mass majority of stereotypes that is being portrayed. So if you look at the stereotypes, you see a mass mindset that's almost beehive. So what you get out of this situation is a lack of respect for creation. The black woman has no respect for God. Although these are some of the most supportive people when it comes to the machine of the church, the spiritual crack house. You crack their minds with a book to justify destruction. As if you're speaking creation. We see what these pastors do. We see what they do. Look, I'm not perfect at all. But it's time to call the demonic spells out. So women's running around here sucking dick, get right up, go to church, and trust me, that dick she sucked was not her husband's. But hey, it's all primitive. Because no matter what you call the child of God, we all come from one blast of creation. And creation is God. God is all. God is you. God is me. God is the trees and the breeze, the waves of the ocean, the humming of the birds, the touch of a hug of compassion and love. God is everything. God is man and woman. God loved us enough to not put the burden on one. One entity. He split us into two. Because living in the body of creation it never has been easy. So each burden must be respected. The sun feeds us all. The sun shoots its rays of light to the earth, and the earth grows and populates. What is the closest thing to the sun? A man. A man. And if we're going to take a look at what was made first, what man was made first, how dare you disrespect me when I'm of God, when I am first. Because just like the sun shoots a ray of light to this round circle called Earth, semen shoots a ray of life to the egg in a woman to sprout life. So without the sun, without the sperm, you have no life. I am the key to life. You are the door that opens. Embrace our roles, evolve humanity. Evolution is possible through understanding. This that lava hop shit. This that lava lords with a motherfucking Z. LAVALORDZ. Music. Fight for your life. Men, stop settling for your beta male mentality. Women, I detest your masculine ways and teachings. Rebuke the Jezebel spirit. This ain't no biblical. This is reality. This is universal. This is spiritual. This is stardust. Open your mind's eye. Humans, we must unite. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you made it this far, bless your heart. Check me out. Share this. And stay focused. It's your boy G-Dodge, GDOZ, representing Lava Lords. And I send nothing but love and evolution and peace to all. Stay safe and love each other.